Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. This is the Talisman League. I'm playing my Chaos Caster Shadow. And we are going for Merveil. Also, speaking of that, in between episodes I made a couple of changes to my gear and I got now got 54% cold resistance. Mostly thanks to this nice sapphire ring here that I bought from Lady Nessa, and this one as well. So both I had to reroll them a little bit, and I now have a bonus to maximum life, so I actually have a little bit more life than I started with. At the expense of some mana. One of the rings had my bonus to mana, so that's now lost. Got mana on kill, that might help a little bit, but the most important bit is that now I got more than 50% cold resist, so all the damage of Merveil is cut in half. Now the thing is, I rerolled the mods on this Twig Spirit Shield. So this now actually has a bit of mana, so it compensates mostly for the loss and some lightning resistance. And I recolored the sockets to be blue-blue-green. And the thing is, because this is void manipulation, which adds more chaos damage to my chaos spells at the expense of elemental damage, which I absolutely don't care about. Okay, this one adds cold damage, but I'll be benefiting slightly less from that. But that's okay if the chaos damage goes up. So Contagion still linked to it, but I also put Essence Drain on it. So Essence Drain now does 22% more damage out of the box thanks to Void Manipulation at the expense of a little bit more mana. So that seems like a good deal here. Do more damage all the time. And the belt wasn't enchanted yet, so it also has a little bit of lightning resistance on it, just because that's the roll that came up and it seems good enough to keep. So, boss fights. Let's look for trouble. Ooh, actual icon. And then a Rogue Exile. Iron Dark Shroud. With a pretty badass looking, this is a Necromancer, Bone Armor, Thingamajig. Boom. Bye bye goes she. Wow. This is a lot of loot. Might actually have to run up and down to town already. Definitely getting spoiled here. So let's have a look, because there was some things in there that looked potentially useful. Let's see. Rings don't care, but Sapphire Ring. 26 gold, but all the other mods are less good. So, don't care. Physical, don't care. Plague Mask, that's what I got. Might roll better. Extra evasion and energy shield and cold resistance. Oh, hell yeah, that's a win. So, this is mostly on par. Not gonna bother. This has the potential to be interesting. More energy shield, slightly more. But I'll lose some intelligence, so I don't really care. Velvet gloves, no, don't care. Alright, so let's reclaim this one, reapply it just to look in style. And we move on. Carved wands. Okay, the mods are nice, but sure. Let's weed out all the add-ons before we fight. And I now realize this is actually not the icon for a talisman, but for a stone altar. Which is even more beneficial because I have 5 amulets with me that I'm not using right now. So let's clear everything in about a screen's width around here. Just to prevent anything from barging in while I'm trying to survive. Ooh, also we got a point, so that's the evasion and energy shield up here. I think I picked up something yellow down here. Let's see, bonus damage to attacks, armor, fire resist, cold resist. It's too much strength, I can't actually use it. Also, there is a yellow here. So, they die pretty quickly. Ooh, Quicksilver Flask. Might open up the option for a second one. Let's go quickly to town before triggering this entire thing, just to clear out all the stuff we got. So many items now just going instantly bye-bye because they don't matter. Mostly the amulets. I'm wondering if regular amulet drop rates have been reduced to accommodate for the fact because they're now effectively trash items. Or if they are still as good as they were. Let's see, I picked up Orb of Transmutation, which allows me to buy skills. Oh, also Arc got buffed. It's gonna get more chains and it does a bit more damage now, I think. So Arc seems like a pretty viable, even more viable skill than it already was. But this playthrough is not about Arc, but Flame Dash. Flame Dash is a movement skill. And it should allow me to clear out of groups of enemies. Which seems like a useful thing to do every once in a while. So let's put this on a slightly easier, accessible skill thing. Like so. So this is now clear. We have 3 amulets to sacrifice. Let's go. Stone Altar. We sacrifice 1 blue. We sacrifice another blue. We have a white, we have a primal, and we have another blue. So we got 3 blues in here and 2 whites. So chances are 60% that we'll get a blue item out of this. Go summon. Oh, interesting. So they must all be of the same tier. So how do I tell? I think it was the primal skull. How do you... Okay, so this... there's a level requirement. This is a level 4 requirement. The other ones don't have a level requirement. Could it be that simple? Okay, this just seems a bit silly that they have this tiering thing. I understand, but it's also slightly confusing. There could have been a slightly more in the face, slightly more obvious. Well, maybe we find an enemy that will drop the appropriate tier thing, and then we can go back here. I mean, it's pretty close to the waypoint, so for the coming 8 to 15 minutes, this level will stay. Omen of Frost. Bye bye. So. Bye bye.
God bless you on this.
Hello there, Elrian. Let's clear out these other guys first. Oh, that was not quite the plan. I believe that everything spreads with contagion. So, including Essence Strike. The debuff at least. So if you get some people with it, then you will spread quite powerful damage debuffs along with the Essence Strike. Okay, and we got enough. Cool. Level 2. Once we get to 3, we get a secret hideout, and then we can invite all the other superheroes, I mean masters. Flame Dash leveled up. Oh yeah, of course, I got the new skill without showing it off. How silly of me. So, Flame Dash. It's a movement skill. And it seems like a reasonable way to get out of trouble. I mean, if you get surrounded, you can just Flame Dash through enemies. Also, there is a Talisman wielder, which is what I was actually hoping for. So it looks like we might be able to use the Stone Circle after all. Let's grab this one. Deep 1 of Excitement. Deep 1 Talisman of Excitement. 20% increased cold damage and extra mana regen. Okay. Let's. There was something yellow there. Okay. So the thing about Wither, 7% increased damage. It stacks 20 times. Seems to last for 2 seconds, the debuff, while the movement speed only lasts for half a second. It actually has 2 cooldowns. Where was it listed? It's not there. Here. So base duration is half a second. Base secondary duration is 2 seconds. So that way you can actually get more stacks in, making the damage debuff slightly more viable. Okay, so deep one, that's a blue. This one is a blue. In the deep one, it doesn't have a level requirement, right? Okay, so for now I'm going with level requirement means tier. Also means I'll lose out on a blue. Different base types, wait, what? Oh, seriously. So these two have the same symbol, I suppose. So this would have been fine. But it's a different tier. Okay, so my enthusiasm for this league is now slightly dampened by the seemingly needless complexity of managing both tiers and amulet types. I don't understand why it's this way. There's no apparent in-game reason for it or logical explanation for it, and it's... I mean, if you have to explain how mechanics work with error messages when you try to use it, there's probably something slightly off about the mechanic. That's because you feel the need to explain it that way. So I don't know, maybe it will become more apparent once I use it more. I hope. Maybe I hope I'll understand the reasons why they chose to do it this way. But what I understand is that for the rarity, the white, blue, yellow versions of things, they just pick it based on chance. Not quite sure why I need to put in 5 different types of amulets instead of, you know, having the output type be determined by chance as well. If it's maybe this way you get too much control otherwise. Well, it also means you have to keep large amounts of amulets if you want to. Gotta catch them all, so to say, if you want to make sets based on multiple variations that don't seem that relevant. Oh well, we'll see. A strong box, always fun. So I really like the mechanical interactions between Contagion and Essence Drain. You contain your group, Essence Drain 1, and then the moment it dies, it carries over to the other guy, and then the Essence Drain bonus applies as well. So you really suck out their life quickly, and you just see it spread pretty rapidly throughout a group. And in that case, Wither just accelerates the entire thing. Pretty fun. Let's see what's in here. Strongly increased rarity of contained items and guarded by a stream of monsters. Okay. Now, let's do the usual thing of just trapping this out the wazoo. And then I'll just hit it and flame dash. And then Contagion. And then just start Essence Draining and it will solve itself. Okay, this is definitely better way to play than only Contagion by itself. Really, your Chaos Caster is not complete until you have Essence Drain. It's just that awesome. Let's see. This is a yellow. Intelligence, life, lightning resist. Whatever. Let's move on. And the interesting bit is that you accelerate the process by just infecting multiple enemies with Essence Drain. Because it will just spread to others. It seems like the spread area is slightly limited. There's an aura around it. So I wonder, there's contagion. Nope. It doesn't gain bigger range like Wither does at leveling up. So that's something to be controlled, I suppose, because otherwise it just becomes too powerful. Is that another circle of stones? Oh, wait, that's my own swarm of ghostly flames, ghostly fireflies. Let's see, Merveil's daughter. There's another stone altar. Ooh, and there's a daughter of Merveil. Ambrosia. Who will die pretty quickly, I hope. Yes, that worked pretty well. Ah, how cute. Boom, boom, boom. They die. Ooh, Spike Bundle. That's actually theoretically the best kind of thing, because it's the sockets will roll green and blue. Well, they should. In this case, they roll red, red, blue. But it's energy shield and evasion. Life, fire resist, and damage to attackers, which is interesting. I mean, this is the Shadows native type, though I suppose. It's a bit more optimized for melee shadows. Yeah, I mean, I could go to the stone circle, but I don't actually have anything to hand in yet. So, for now, I'm just gonna ignore it. Just pretend it's not there. See if we can find another Talisman wielder that will grace us with better loot. Or more stone circle appropriate loot, so to say. Hello there. I was asking for a Talisman wielder. I got a Talisman wielder. So, that seems pretty convenient. Oh, this is the zombie bonus thingamajig. Let's see, points. Okay. So, mana seems to be holding up pretty well now that I'm not. Now that I got the contagion essence drain combo thing down. So there, I don't see an immediate need to go this direction. Also, Mind Drinker is actually based on physical attack damage, and I'm not doing physical, so that doesn't help. But the bonus to mana here by itself would increase the regen, of course. This is traps. Traps are nice, but I'm not actually using them a lot. I mean, conversion trap is mostly a trick to deal with larger groups of enemies that are ambushing me when I know they will. Elemental focus. The 10% chance to avoid elemental status ailments is nice, I suppose, but not worth the points to end getting all the elemental stuff. Crit stuff, I'm not going for a crit build. Sniper, it will increase the essence drain, but I suspect it's only going to be the initial hit. So that's the 12 to 18 chaos damage that you get for hitting enemies, rather than also the damage over time effect. So for now, I think I'm going to hold off on Sniper. Fangs of the Viper, holy moly, 20% increased chaos damage and some movement speed and some dexterity. Yes, please. So this is 29.3 DPS. And it becomes 32 DPS. But it's mostly the damage over time effects that get the biggest thing out of this. And eventually I'll probably want to head towards the Void Barrier. This is a very nice defensive line as well. A lot of evasion, a lot of energy shield recharge rate, elemental resists. It's all good. And then of course we got Method to the Madness. I mean, if I go down here, grab this bunch of nodes, then I'm close to the points here if I ever need attribute points. There is some physical, some life nodes here, which are good by themselves. The physical damage bonus is not really necessary, but it's nice to get. And afterwards we got the Method to the madness. So there's plenty of options down here. Also entropy. Ooh, this line is really nice. Damage over time. A lot of damage over time. Increase the skill effect duration. That's gonna be very nice. Also for Wither. Probably gives me 1 extra stack. So if I choose to use it, it's gonna be even better. And I think we might have found our friend Merveil. So we picked up one of these things, and okay, so this is the same one as this. Hey, where did you come from? Die. So 1 extra zombie, 15 lightning damage to attacks, and 1.4 life regenerated per second. That's a pretty nice roll, actually. Though melee damage attacks, well, it's not actually melee damage attacks. You could also have a bow wielding zombie summoner, of course. Could be interesting. Get the new siege ballista, get a bow, have a bunch of zombies. Could do some fun stuff with that. Well, anyway, let's fight Merveil. Because that's the reason we came here in the first place. Hello there. Hello. Yes, you, be contagious or something. Yeah, and let's play dodge the Merveil. So... oh, how cute. She's got an energy shield. I don't look impressed, do I? Completely ignoring her energy shield. So where did you go? Okay, Merveil, second incarnation. Okay, if you insist, let's do some traps. Here, have some minions as distractions. Okay. Here. Oh, this is fun. Whoosh. Chaos damage is just so awesome. Also interesting that I'm playing a energy shield based build. And that's basically, I'm playing my own counter. I've got a decent reliance on energy shield, and I'm using chaos damage, which is also my weakness in this regard, since it will pierce my energy shield. Also need more pockets, so let's continue. Well, anything interesting in here? It's a club. It looks like a wand, but it's actually a club. You can bash people over the heads with it, but that's all about it's good for. Skill armor. Okay, I'll sort it out later. So yeah, well, we defeated Merveil. I'm gonna do some ferrying with selling all the crap I got in town and just having a quick look over my gear. And the next episode we're gonna go into Act 2 and defeat some apes and some other things that lurk in the woods. So I'll catch you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye. Bye bye. And yeah, I'm repeating myself again. Goodbye.